Hey guys, it's time for another Swiss Army knife review. This time we're going to take a look at the Camper by Victorinox. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Kemp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. Well, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I absolutely love Swiss Army knives, and so I'm doing a whole video series on the different Swiss Army knives that you can carry for outdoor use or just as everyday carry. Guys, I love these things. I've been fascinated by them since I was 12 years old and got my first knife when I visited Switzerland as a kid, and I've been collecting them ever since. And so today we're going to do a review on a 3-layer Swiss Army knife called the Camper. And guys, I'm really excited about this knife because I think it gives you a great set of tools if you are an outdoorsman. Now, I think that the 3-layer Swiss Army knives oftentimes are missing a few things that I would like in an everyday carry knife. So these are not knives I carry every day, but especially if I'm camping in hot weather where I'm wearing like athletic shorts and I don't want a whole lot of weight in my pocket, oftentimes I'll go with a 3-layer Swiss Army knife. And so I have a bunch of these with different tool sets, and so I picked the tool set that works for me. And in this case, the Camper is one that I use an awful lot. So with that, let's get into the tool set. Okay guys, so on a 3-layer Swiss Army knife, there's not a whole lot to them, so this should be pretty fast. Let's go ahead and go through it. So the first thing that they have is they have the can opener and a flathead screwdriver. This flathead screwdriver also works surprisingly well on Phillips screws. So if you've got a Phillips screw you need to undo, go ahead and give that a try. On the other side is what they call the cap lifter, or I call the bottle opener. It also has a flathead screwdriver and a wire stripper or wire bender. This opens both at half and full. Half works really well if you've got a big stubborn screw that you need to get some torque on. It's nice that it opens that way. The second layer in a 3-layer SAK is the saw in this case, and this is a fantastic wood saw. And this is why I really like these 3-layer Swiss Army knives with the wood saw, is that they are fantastic when I'm making campfires. If I need a cooking fire or it's just a little chilly outside and I need to cut up some kindling for the fire, these saws are amazing. It's always amazing to me how big of a branch I can cut pretty fast with these wood saws. They just cut. So I love the wood saw on the Victorinox knives. And then the last layer on the 3-layer Swiss Army knife is the large blade. And these blades are great. They're nice and sharp. They hold their edge pretty well. And the small blade. And guys, I use the small blade a whole lot more than I use the large blade, because what I like to do is I like to save my large blade for large cutting jobs. So if I'm cutting paracord, if I'm opening boxes, if I'm just cutting something small, I use my small blade all the time to try to save the sharpness of the large blade. Now, of course, this knife is equipped with a toothpick. It has a little key ring, which you can use for a lanyard, or these knives are small enough you could put them on a keychain if you want. They'd be a little bit big, but it's definitely doable. And of course it has the tweezers. And then on the back side of this knife, as I get the tweezers back in, are 2 tools. First is the corkscrew, which is very important when you want to open those bottles of wine while out in the woods. We're going to actually get into this in a little bit. I'm going to talk about the corkscrew. And the reamer awl with sewing eye, and these are great for punching holes in leather, for attaching, like if you need to attach canvas or a tarp or something like that, you can actually sew with this, although it does leave relatively large holes, so be aware of that. But I use this mostly for punching holes in leather and works really well. Now, we just recently did a review of the Hiker, which is another 3-layer Swiss Army knife with the saw, and the only difference between these 2 knives is the fact that the Hiker has the Phillips screwdriver and the Camper has the corkscrew. Now, historically, I've always been a fan of the Phillips head screwdriver because I don't use the corkscrew a lot. There are a couple of reasons to have the corkscrew though. One is a corkscrew is really handy when you have tight knots in ropes. You can actually screw the corkscrew in, give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, and it helps untie knots. But there are some new tools out there for Swiss Army knives that are really, really handy. And I did a review on this, so you can check this out, guys. I'll put a review up in the corner there where you can check out the video. But this is the Fire Ant from Tortoise Gear, and this is Helix Fire Tinder. And so I'm not going to do a review on it right now. But guys, what this does is it gives your Swiss Army knife the ability to carry its own fire tinder and a fire starter, which I think is absolutely fantastic. And then it just stores right in the corkscrew. So you have a little fire starter, a little ferrocerium rod, and fire tinder right there. So guys, check out that video if you want to see how to use that. But what I love about this now is the ability to carry fire starting material on your Swiss Army knife. And so the corkscrew comes in really handy for that. So guys, when would you carry the camper over something else? Well, I would say that it's basically when you only want 3 layers and you want the wood saw, right? If you want the scissors, which I think is better for an everyday carry knife, I use the scissors more than I use the wood saw when I'm just, around the house or whatever. I would carry, if I want a 3-layer knife, I would carry the climber. But the other thing that you can do is you can go to a 4-layer knife like the Huntsman, and that gives you the wood saw and the scissors. But if you're looking for a 3-layer knife, guys, that's about the width of a knife that you want to carry, especially if you're traveling light and you want the wood saw and you want the ability to carry some fire tinder and a fire starter. Boy, this is a fantastic knife. Guys, I'm going to put a link down in the description below where you can pick up one of these. It is an affiliate link, guys, so if you use my link to purchase, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it's a great way to support Kemp Outside. It gives me a little commission on the sale, so I appreciate it if you use my links. But if not, hey, no big deal. I'm also going to put a link down below to the Helix Fire Tinder and the Fire Ant fire starter so that you can see those as well. I'll also include a list of some of my favorite Swiss Army knives so you can check those out as well. Guys, this is a part of a whole series we're doing on Swiss Army knives, so if you enjoy Swiss Army knives, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell icon that notifies you when we release new videos, and give me a thumbs up on this video. If you have any questions at all about Swiss Army knives or what knife you should carry, drop some in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Or you can connect with us on our other social media. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and X, or our website at kempoutside.com. Guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.